Hello and welcome to a game that you, for obvious reason, will soon see looks like a pretty decisive loss for us. Um, but that in the end we are somehow able to turn this around. A comeback in which I will play a quite significant part. Here I'm in a division with Max, who's playing the Gidakasa, and I am in the Jutland. The teams have no tier 10s. In fact, it's mostly tier 8s. But it's 5 battleships, 3 cruisers, and 4 destroyers on each team. Now, I will also say that this was my last battle for the evening. And it had been a fairly rough evening results-wise. I played some games mostly with Soul, and some games we were able to really carry. Others, our team just completely melted and we had no chance at all. So, being the last battle of the day, I will say that I played it a bit more recklessly than I usually do. Take some more chances perhaps, but perhaps that's what is needed when the potatoes are out in force. Either way, Max and I have been going towards A together with a Cleveland. I turn out because I don't really want to go straight into A, since I do suspect that there will be at least one enemy destroyer trying to rush it. And as suspected, I am detected, and shortly after the enemy Yugumo is spotted as well. So I open up on him, try to get some damage, try to utilize the AP, but I start turning away instantly to get away from torps and also make it difficult for the other enemy ships to shoot at me. I launch torps into the smoke in case he doesn't go as far into the cap as he can. But Charles Martel gets a good hit at me, and I'm forced to repair fire and use my heal, even though we're less than 3 minutes into the game. Now here's where it shows some bit perhaps too reckless. A is being kept really fast, so that means we have 2 enemy destroyers in the cap. But I want to try to rush and get at least the first destroyer killed, and then see about the other. We see a Minsk, which is the second destroyer, and of course we have the Yugumo. I am proxy spotted, so after the Yugumo torps pass me, I drive in and open up and kill him. I have no problem avoiding the torps from the Minsk, and I smoke up because I don't really have the health right now to deal with him. I do ever briefly forget that I am spotted even when I shoot, or at least he's close enough to be spotted when I shoot. So he is able to put good damage into me, even though I managed to avoid his storms. He's also getting some help, so as soon as I'm undetected, I move out and try to get away. The Cleveland has been pushing quite aggressively and is being punished heavily for it, and he will go down very shortly. The enemy has managed now to cap both A and D, but for a few seconds we have a Shiratsuyu blocking D, but he will leave, and the enemy's points will continue to increase rapidly. I launch some torps as I run away, because as you can see on the minimap, there is a plane from the Charles Martel most likely that will spot me. I don't have enough time to run away fully, so I sacrifice one of my smokes to break the line of sight and make it difficult for the enemy ships to spot and shoot at me. My torpedoes, they all miss, unfortunately. They didn't push as much as I had hoped, but instead we see the enemy Jervis up ahead. Disappears, but I decide to go after him. My Hydro catches the torps, which will help at least Max to avoid them. I'm trying to make sure that I get behind the island, seen from battleships in the south, so that I don't risk eating a damage from them as I open up on the Jervis. So I hold my fire quite a bit here, just because I really don't want to risk eating a damage from the battleships. But as soon as I'm far enough, I start helping out with the Jervis. He smokes up because he's coming under quite a bit of heat, and that's when I spot the Minsk in our B cap. I instantly fire, and in 2 salvos I get my second kill. I also smoke up. We had a Baltimore in the middle of the map, so I have no desire to be out in the open. Jervis is spotted again, so while he is still visible, I try to do some additional damage to him.
The enemy team has taken the lead.
In addition to being 2 caps down, we have lost 4 ships to the enemy's 3. And they are already at 600 points, while we're still trying to move closer to 300. Jervis is spotted again, and I managed to kill him and get my third kill. But now Max and I are facing the Baltimore. And of course the Baltimore has radar, so even if my smoke was ready, it would be kind of useless to use it. I managed to duke quite easily his first salvo. And I hold my fire until he's broadside, or at least until I know he's detecting me. And as his radar goes up, I open up to try to help bring him down. Utilizing the AP and getting some pretty okay hits. I smoke up since there is a shot motel pushing up and the Baltimore is going down. And of course that kills goes to Max. I send some torps out and then continue to shoot at the Martel. Continue with the AP since he is still fairly broadside. He's sending torps towards my smoke, but my Hydra is running, so there's no risk there. And my torp get him, and I get my 4th kill. However, we are still quite a bit behind, but we are capping D right now, so hope is actually not lost. We have a Massachusetts pushing through the A cap, so I need to turn north to not be detected by him. We also see the North Carolina coming from the west, which only leaves the King George V out of the 3 battleships we have on our side. And there he is. So we have 3 battleships pursuing us, and my torps are not ready to deal with any of them. It doesn't show the replay, but I'm trying to see if I can torpedo the King George or the North Carolina. But the island is in the way for both of them. Instead I switch back to the Massachusetts, and just before I pass the island, I send out my torps. Then I decide to move to the other side of the island to hopefully be able to move out from there. Ideally my torps would kill the battleship, but if they don't, maybe I can smoke up and help the Izumo and Shiratoyo deal with him. For some reason the replay is a bit strange here, but I do manage to get one torpedo hit, which caused a flooding. And since he was torpedoed before and repaired, that's a permanent flooding. But I have 4 kills, and I would like to have my Kraken, even though right now it looks like we will lose because we lost several ships rapidly. And there's just another one. I get the Confederate and just try to push as much damage into the Massachusetts as I can. And I managed to get the kill on the Kraken. But the enemy will start capping D again, and while we are equal on a number of ships, we are 400 points more or less behind, and soon they will have 3 caps again. So as I write in chat, even though I have 5 kills, I don't see us winning this. Try to see if I can torpedo the King George or the North Carolina. The King George is moving behind the island faster than my torps can reach him, and the North Carolina is predicted to be behind the island when my torps reach him, so I can't torp either. Instead, I continue to move towards A to at least try to delay the enemy's win and possibly get some extra XP since I am still grinding the Jutland. It looks like the North Carolina will be turning in a bit, so after a bit of debating with myself, I launch some torps before the island, and then continue back towards A. As we see, the enemy has managed to cap D, and now have the cap advantage again. I take a shot just to get some additional damage. Funnily enough, the torps max killed King George with actually hit North Carolina as well, so he is going down. But I have torps on him as well, and as I slow down in cap, I look at my torps, and North Carolina is nice enough to give broadside to them and goes down, and I get my 6th kill. And we have managed to get some kills over at D, together with the battleships over here. So now all of a sudden we are actually way ahead on ships. They just have 1 destroyer, Jutland, left, while we have still 5 ships. But we are behind on points. The Shirasuyo is low. I'm fairly low. Max is fairly low, and we have a battleship, which most definitely can die quickly from the torps. The Shirasuyo will go down into C to cap it, because we are still 200 points behind, and to have any chance of winning we need to have the cap advantage. Here we greatly conclude that we need to kill him to secure the win. Capping might not be enough, but it's a bit hard to determine if the Jutland will go towards B, or if he maybe will go C or in the middle. At least he knows that there is something in C, so maybe he wants to go there and kill it, or he wants to go and try to cap B. I suggest that maybe Max and I should split up. One go north of the island and one go south. To make sure he can't get to the B cap or get to C and kill the Chirasuyu. But regardless of the validity of that plan or not, it's not really needed, because he goes out and we detect each other and I open up. And so does, of course, Max. I first try with some AP, but as he angles I will switch back to HE. And I smoke up to try and stop, since he is focusing on me. I also activate the Hydro in case of torpedoes. And with a little bit of luck, I am the one who managed to get the last kill, which is my 7th. Looking at the results of the battle, well, I obviously managed to get 7 kills. However, I only managed to get about 96k damage, which really isn't that impressive. It's not bad, but it's also far from my best damage game in this ship. And especially considering I have 7 kills, it's not too much, but it's still a decent enough game. Apart from the Kraken, I also get the Dreadnought and the Confederate. And because here I'm running some camo and the flags, I get almost 20,000 XP, which was definitely nice. We see that I get 2.3k base XP, which is pretty nice. Max is second with about 1.7 and 2 kills. So between the two of us, we managed to get 9 kills out of the 12. And I would say that getting those kills were definitely needed, considering how behind we were on points and caps most of the game. We also got some help from the NKK clan or division. But I think it's fair to say that Max and I really carried this game. Looking at the individual damage, it's obviously not too much on each ship, but I managed to get the crucial damages, both with my torpedoes and my guns, and was perhaps a bit lucky because there were a few ships that definitely would have gone down even without me killing them, but I would not really say there were any kill steals, so at least it was an honest 7 kills, even though some of them were quite low HP. You also see that out of the 8 ships I fired at, I killed 7, so that's also nice. Only 700,000 potential damage, which is not too much, but I also ate 26,000 damage. So as we saw, that's the Dreadnought award. Finally, for once, quite substantial amount of XP. running as many flags and cameras as I can. I prioritize some damage flags, so for example the increased fire chance and flooding chance. But other than that, I try to maximize XP here. So I almost reached 20,000, and for Commander XP I get 25. I already have the 91 captain on him on this ship, but it's still 25,000 elite commander XP, so that's nice. So even though it looked quite bad, not only for the team but also for me, being quite low HP most of the game and being more aggressive than I should have and sacrificing a lot of HP for it, I managed to collect my 7 kills and make it into a really nice last game of the evening. So who knows, maybe I should be more reckless in the future, because at least this time it most definitely worked. Like I said, not the best damage, but the crucial damage that led to a lot of kills. And a victory, even though it was not as sure thing as I would have liked. But that just means it was more significant and hopefully a more interesting game to watch.